Come and take your place, oh Lord. Come and take your place, oh Lord, in my life. Come and take your place in my life. Come and take your place. Come and take your place, oh Lord. Come and take your place, oh Lord, in my life. Lord, come and take your place in my life. Come and take your place.
Hi guys, welcome to channel. Because you are doing video today, but those my mom did do video, but I know my dad can make it.
Wow, good.
And the boy is having it. Bye.
Bye.
Off it.
Alright, bye-bye. No, don't. Auntie Keisha is going already. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm sure you all can tell from the title of this video. There's so much I want to say, but I pretty much cannot really say how I feel right now. I have cried out my lungs. I have cried out my nose out, as in, if there is any cry I've not cried in this life, I have cried it ever since my father died, ever since I experienced his death. So my dad died this August, late this August, not so long. And I mean, the last video that I posted, I know some of you would have noticed something, that there was an ambulance at the front of, or at the back of me. At that point, I was so sad that I had to pick up the camera to talk to you guys. This has been going on for so long, and there was no way I could really tell you all what was going on in my life. Definitely, I am a content creator, and pretty much it's not everything that happens in our life that we see outside. So my father, this has been going on since May, and I'm sure that in Oma and Fam, some of you would have noticed. I mean, some of you were just like, I don't know, some of you thought it was my marriage and stuff. But that's the last thing that you can ever think of if anything was going on in the life of a young family. So apparently my dad was literally having some sort of cough. From the cough he started having stroke, like partial stroke. So I brought him to my house. He stayed in my house for like almost 2 months, and he started getting better. One thing I want to say is that this vlog might be all over the place, but this video might be all over the place, but I want you to know that never depend your life in Nigeria hospital. I mean, they take your life as 10%, and you can't really blame them, because when the government is not paying them what they should, what they deserve to be paid, and there is no facility, like the things that you need to see in a hospital, they are not here. And the ones that you find, they're in all this very big hospital, and they charge you so much for it. Do you understand? Aside from that, life in Nigeria is more like 10%, you know, if you are really sick and you want to be treated. So apparently my father started having this cough. It went down to stroke, and then we took him to the hospital. We rushed him to the hospital, and they said he was suffering from lungs infection and there was some fluid. They took out the fluid, and apparently they were not able to tell if my father was going through the worst, not knowing that he was literally going through the worst. My daddy suffered lung cancer and he died not knowing what he was suffering from. That was the most painful part of it. He died not knowing what he was suffering from. And my mom and I was together with him. God bless Ladeo. Ladeo, God bless you wherever you are. She has a YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being there for us. Apparently, that same day I made that video, my dad was to be transferred to Abeokuta. He was transferred from Gilead Hospital, Ota, to Abeokuta, where they had specialists who could, diagnose him of what he was having. And, on getting there, it was about 2 hours journey. And on getting there, they stood us up for 1 hour 30 minutes at FMC Hospital Abeokuta. 30 minutes telling us that they needed to clear up space. 1 hour 30 minutes. And I'm like, what the? It was a strange city for me, so I had to call. I remember that one YouTuber she lives in Abeokuta, so I had to call on her to know if she is connected, to know if she had someone here who can speed up the process for my dad. And I called her, and she told me about her phone getting low and all of that. So she called me and told me that she had someone, but when she told me, that was the period when my dad was taken inside. So they called us, my mom and I. They told us to buy this, buy that, buy. The thing now is that aside from even there are some hospitals that you go in, like the places that you want to go in and you feel like they're already a death trap. My dad went in unconscious in a coma, and we were almost like, what is going on? The emergency unit was nothing to write home about. Like, the emergency unit was almost like a death trap, because you get to see people dying, them removing corpses and all of that. If not because of God, I'm sure that I would have been hopeless. But I had so much hope that my father was going to live. I had so much hope. And he left. Spending a night there, the next day, the specialist came and they told us that my father was suffering lung cancer. He was suffering lung cancer. We did not know he died when they came. That was when he died, when the specialists came, to tell us what was going on with him and everything. And that was when we lost him. And they told us that there was no pulse and all of that. Like, sometimes I wonder what kind of country are we living in? What kind of country are we living in if life is nothing to them, if life is meaningless? So what happened? So I think I lost it, and I knew that I had to be strong for my mom, because he's my father, but I had to remember the fact that he's also a husband to my mom. And I cried. I didn't want my mom to see me cry, because I needed to be strong for her. I went out and I just couldn't hold it. There was no way I could hold the emotions behind it. She saw me cry, and she cried and cried. I had to be there for her. And then the next thing, I called Ladeo. In fact, me and Ladeo, we were literally talking that morning, when it happened. And after I got out from that call, that was when the specialist came, and then his life was gone. And then I called my husband, I called my brothers, I called Ladeo, telling her. Immediately after that call, I went to check on my father, and he had no pulse. She screamed, and then she came immediately for us. We went, like, she gave me strength. She literally gave me strength, because immediately not so immediately, in fact, they even delayed bringing my father out of that place. And we had to go to the morgue to ask for how much it takes and everything. She literally went with me all through. She was my strength, because I was trying to be strong for my mom. But then I realized that this grief literally has different stages. She told me about it, and I didn't even bother thinking about it until I left the house. She took me to a house. We had to refresh in, because one thing I remembered was that I had not had my bath for 3 days, and I had not eaten for 3 days, just to see that my father is well. There was no appetite. I was beside him, sitting right there beside him, holding him. So it happened, and I don't know, like, it was strange to me having to experience the man that I've been living for almost all my whole life, for almost my whole life once I got married. I knew my father was so gentle to a fault. We were not so much of great pals. Like, I never had issues like that with my dad. My dad never, like, hardly flogged me. Like, he hardly used a cane on me. He taught me mathematics. He was so intelligent that I knew that he's Then when my father came around here, I asked him some questions, I didn't really get the answer that I wanted, because I asked him if there was anything that you would have changed, because most times I ask, like, any old person around me, if there's anything you could have changed while you were young, what would it have been? So I asked my father. I didn't get the answer that I really wanted, but he said few things, and I promised him, after saying that, I promised him that I was going to be the best daughter that he has ever had, like the world, every other father has ever had. I told him, and not knowing that his death was going to come soon, I promised him I was going to take him around the world. I promised him a whole lot. So guys, I'm just going to end this video here, but I just want you to know that no matter what, I would still upload videos. I love and I respect my father so much. I love my father so much and I respect him so much, but I have promised him that I'm going to do what it takes to become great. And I'm sure he's seated up there seeing me and watching me. This is not how he wants me to be, but I know that I'm in my grieving stage, but this is not how he wants me to be. So I will keep uploading, and of course I'm finding every means to get busy, very busy, so that I don't get to think. And I know that someday I will make my father proud. And yes, he's not the only parent that I have right now. I have my mother right here, and the things that I knew that I did not do for my father, I'm going to make sure that happens to my mother by God's grace. And I just want to thank you all for watching this video, and thank you, Lade. Thanks to my mother-in-law, thanks to my husband, thanks to each and every one of you, and to the Most High. for granting me peace in process. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.